It started like any other congressional hearing, calm, calculated, and routine. But within minutes, the atmosphere inside the chamber shifted from professional discourse to an electrifying verbal duel that had every viewer glued to their screens. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, known for her passionate stance and fiery interruptions, faced off with Senator John Kennedy, a man whose Southern charm often masks his razor-sharp wit. What followed was a tense exchange that no one saw coming, and one that would soon become the talk of the nation. The topic at hand was government accountability and economic policy, a debate that already carried high stakes. Ak leaned forward, eyes fierce, her tone crisp as she challenged Kennedy's arguments. "With all due respect, Senator, your data is outdated," she interjected for the second time in under 2 minutes. Kennedy, with his signature calm drawl, nodded slightly, allowing her to speak. But before he could respond, she cut in again, a third, then fourth interruption, her voice rising with conviction. By the 6th time, the crowd inside the room was shifting uncomfortably. The air crackled with tension. Even the moderator seemed hesitant to step in, aware that both figures were symbols of two different Americas, two worldviews colliding under the same roof. Kennedy finally leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. His eyes met hers, not in anger, but in something far more disarming. "Quiet patience, Congresswoman," he began softly. "I admire your passion, I truly do, but passion without patience is like a fire without a fireplace. It burns everything, even the truth." The room fell silent. Cameras zoomed in. Even Ek, who had moments ago been unstoppable, paused mid-breath. Kennedy didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. His words carried the weight of experience, the kind that can't be shouted down or debated away. The tension that had built for nearly 10 minutes dissolved into stunned quiet. Ek adjusted her papers, looked down briefly, and nodded. For the first time in the hearing, she didn't respond. Kennedy continued, his tone turning gentle. "You care deeply, and that's good. America needs fighters, but sometimes, listening is the most powerful form of fighting there is." That line, the 7th in his response, rippled across social media within minutes. Hashtags like #Kennedy shuts her down and #passion with patience trended across platforms. Millions replayed the clip, not to celebrate humiliation, but to reflect on the deeper truth within that moment. Behind the viral headlines and political sides, something human had just happened. Two public figures, one young and driven by ideals, the other seasoned and tempered by time, had collided in a moment that exposed both the beauty and the burden of conviction. Political analysts later described the exchange as the rare moment when Washington paused to listen. Even supporters of Ek admitted that Kennedy's calm dismantling was not cruel but instructive, a reminder that maturity in debate is not about silencing others, but knowing when to speak so that words carry meaning. When the hearing ended, reporters swarmed both lawmakers. Ek, composed and reflective, offered a brief statement. "Debate is how we grow. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn." Kennedy, smiling faintly, simply said, "She's got heart. She'll be just fine." That mutual respect, unexpected and understated, became the quiet ending to a fiery confrontation. In a world that too often rewards noise over wisdom, that moment stood out as something rare, the triumph of calm over chaos. As the clip continued to circulate, young people found themselves inspired not by who won, but by what it meant. Teachers replayed the moment in classrooms as a lesson in communication. Commentators called it the masterclass in composure. And somewhere in that echo of applause and reflection, one message resonated deeply. True strength isn't proven by how loud we speak, but by how deeply we are willing to listen. It was more than just a clash between Ek and John Kennedy. It was a mirror held up to every conversation we've ever had where emotion tried to outrun understanding, and a reminder that sometimes, one calm voice can silence the noise of 1,000 interruptions.